Welcome to Magical Storybook, a collection of children's stories from around the world. Mother Holle. Once upon a time there was a widow who had 2 daughters, one who was kind and hard-working, and the other who was selfish and lazy. The widow loved her lazy daughter the best. She was her own daughter, and she made her stepdaughter do all the housework. The stepdaughter was sent out every day to sit by the well in the high road and spin until her fingers bled. Now it happened one day that some blood fell onto the spindle, and as the girl leaned over the well to wash it off, the spindle slipped from her hand and fell in. She ran home crying, but when she told her stepmother of her misfortune, the woman simply scolded her and said, "As you let the spindle fall into the well, you will go and fetch it out." The girl went back to the well, not knowing what to do, and at last, in her distress, she jumped into the water to fetch the spindle. She remembered nothing more, until she woke up in a beautiful flower meadow filled with sunshine. As she walked across it, she came across an oven baking bread. The loaves cried out to her, "Take us out! Take us out! We were cooked long ago. We shall be burnt to a cinder." So the girl took the bread shovel and took them all out. A little further on, she came to a tree weighed down with apples. Shake me, it begged. "My apples are ripe." So she shook the tree until the apples fell like rain. When there were none left to fall, she gathered the apples and put them in a heap. She continued to walk until she saw a little house. Peeping out of the window was an old woman with teeth so large that they scared the girl. She was about to run away when the old woman called out, "What are you afraid of, my dear child? If you stay with me and do my housework, things shall go well for you. But you must make my bed properly and shake it thoroughly until the feathers fly about. That's when it will snow in the world, for I am Mother Holle, and I bring the frost." The old woman spoke so kindly that the girl found courage and agreed to enter into her service. She took care to do everything the old woman asked, and each time she made the bed, she shook it with such might that the feathers flew around like snowflakes. The old woman was as good as her word and looked after the girl, always speaking kindly to her and giving her cooked meats every day. She stayed with Mother Holle for a long time, but began to grow unhappy. At first, she could not tell why she felt so sad, but she soon realised that she was homesick. At last, she said to Mother Holle, "Although I'm so happy here, I must return to my own people." Mother Holle said, "I am pleased that you want to go back to your own people. As you have served me so well and so faithfully, I will take you home myself." The old woman took her by the hand and led her to a large open door. As she passed through, a shower of gold fell upon her. The gold clung to her so that she was covered from head to foot. "That's a reward for your hard work," said Mother Holle, and as she spoke, she handed her the spindle which had dropped into the well. The door was then closed, and the girl found herself back in the real world, close to her mother's house. As she entered the courtyard, the cockerel who was standing on the well called out, "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Your golden daughters come back to you!" Then she went inside to her mother and sister, and as she was covered in gold, they gave her a warm welcome. She told them everything that had happened, and when the mother heard how she had come by her great riches, she thought that she would like such fortune for her own lazy daughter. So she made her go and sit by the well and spin. But rather than work hard, the daughter deliberately pricked her finger on a thorn and dropped some blood onto the spindle. Then she threw it into the well and jumped in herself. Like her sister, she awoke in the beautiful meadow and walked over it until she came to the oven. "Take us out! Take us out! We were cooked long ago. We shall be burned to a cinder," cried the loaves, just as before. But instead of helping them, the lazy girl answered, "Do you think I'm going to dirty my hands for you?" And she walked on. Soon she came to the apple tree. Shake me," it begged. "My apples are ripe." But she answered, "That is all very well, but what if one of the apples falls on my head?" And she walked on. At last she came to Mother Holle's house, and as she had heard all about her large teeth from her sister, she wasn't afraid of them. And so, when the old woman asked her to stay and work for her, she agreed at once. For the first day she was very obedient and hard-working, and thinking about the gold that she would receive, she did everything that she was asked. The next day, however, she became idle, and on the third day she practically did nothing. From then on, she would lie in bed all morning and refuse to get up. Worse still, she neglected to make the old woman's bed properly and didn't bother to shake it until the feathers flew around like snow. So Mother Holle soon got tired of her and told her that she should go. Well, the lazy girl was delighted by this and thought of the shower of gold that was coming her way. Mother Holle led her to the door, but as she was passing through, instead of a shower of gold, a great kettle of tar came pouring over her. "That is the reward for your service," said the old woman, and shut the door. So the lazy girl had to go home covered with sticky tar, and when the cockerel on the well saw her, it called out, "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Your smelly daughters come back to you!" And however hard she tried to scrub it off, the tar stuck to her for the rest of her life.